Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of Star Trek Prodigy, Episode 10, A Moral Star, Part there. So we have a conclusion to what happened last week, and that is with the Diviner and Dreadnought on the Protostar. Gwyn's there as well, and we also have an evil Captain holographic version of Janeway. So, how did this all end up? Well, Janeway is not evil at all. She was just playing a part. She's just acting, so to speak. It was a ruse. Gwyn did some tinkering to her code, and so if anybody else comes on, especially the Diviner, they can't change the parameters of who Janeway is. And then Janeway comes out of her fake state, so to speak, shows her true form, ends up having a fight with the Diviner, and fucks him over. It was really cool. It's a bit like watching an episode of the X-Men or something like that, with the person who vanishes and reappears and all that shit. Janeway was doing that stuff. Dreadnought ends up back on the mining spaceship, gets fucked over by the miners, slavers, so to speak, because they've all been liberated by the other members of the Protostar crew, who've also given them universal translators, so everyone's able to communicate with each other. And also Jake and Pog has turned the ankle bracelets that was enslaving them into universal translators, so he's made something from a negative into a positive too. And it's interesting to know what happens with Dreadnought in the future, because is he actually artificial intelligence, or is he like a living being in a robot, a bit like General Grievous was in the prequel trilogy? So yeah, is that how it is? I'm not sure. Hopefully we'll find out later on. I like Dreadnought. He's an interesting character. I hope we get more of him in the future. Regarding the Diviner, after being fucked over by by Janeway, he has one roll at the dice, and that is to basically tell Gwyn his real reason for being there, and that is to save their people. As we all know, we thought that the Diviner and Gwyn were the last two of their race. Gwyn actually being a clone of the Diviner, not an actual proper, offspring of him. But that by the way was not explained to her. She still doesn't know that, which is pretty cool. I'm glad that's still kept in the dark. But the Diviner says that he came back from the future. He's traveled back in time to save their people, and then he takes Gwyn into the holodeck, and he reenacts what happened to them, and apparently Starfleet destroyed their planet. I don't think Starfleet would have done that on purpose unless it was Benjamin Sisko who was doing that. But he has a grudge, Diviner that is, a grudge against Starfleet, and wants to get back at them. Gwyn tries to tell him, look, you can't resort violence with violence. You need to communicate with them. You need to talk to them. And that made me so proud and happy of Gwyn, because she's learning what it means to be Starfleet. Try to resolve things, be diplomatic, and that put a smile on my face. But the Divine, obviously being the sort of egotistical, narcissistic maniac that he is, wants none of that. And that's when we get Zero come onto the scene. She's really pissed off with Diviner, and decides to... Sorry, I apologise, but my bird is making a lot of noise here. Daddy is trying to work. Okay, and the Zero that is, knows that the Diviner was trying to use her as a weapon by revealing her true form to the Diviner's enemies. So Zero decides to reveal her true form to the Diviner, and this fucking makes him go fucking crazy. At the same time, Gwyn's there as well, but Dahl comes on the scene to avert her gaze so she doesn't lose her mind as well. This is a bit like the moment from Raiders of the Lost Ark, where Indy tells Marion to not, to keep her eyes shut and not look at the contents coming out of the Ark. But unfortunately for Gwyn, even though she's averting her gaze, she ends up looking at Zero's reflection through the comm badge on Dahl's body, and that makes her go a little bit fucking doolally. But luckily, Gwyn gets repaired. That's the wrong word, but she heals. Her mind restored. I think they do a mind wipe or something like that, so she never remembers experiencing those events, and she's okay. But regarding the Diviner, he's fucked over. Probably for a season or two. I'm sure he will get his fucking marbles back eventually, because you want to end up using a recognizable villain, especially if they're not dead, to make a comeback, and the Diviner is definitely that. But I think most people would be losing their shit by the end of this episode, because we saw something a lot of us weren't expecting. You see, the people on the Protostar now, the original crew that is, are kids, want to go visit Starfleet, so they head there, but then they leave a warp signature behind. And this gets picked up by the USS Gauntlet, which is the ship now being captained by Admiral Janeway. And I think when seeing Admiral Janeway captaining a ship, not a hologram version of her, but the real Admiral Janeway, I lost my fucking shit. I'm kind of surprised that an admiral is captaining starships. I thought they would be doing fucking pencil pushing, once they become an admiral. But nevertheless, Admiral Janeway is there doing what she does best, being a leader. And they pick up on the signature of the protostar. Admiral Janeway, that is, believes that Chakotay is there, and obviously she's very good friends with Chakotay, and so she wants to go and try and rescue him. So they head towards that signature, and that's how the episode ends. Really good show. Hoping we get some more episodes in the future. The way this episode ended, it felt like a season finale, but I've been hearing through the grapevine there'll still be 10 more episodes of season 1. If that's true, fantastic. I can't wait. If not a problem, because I can wait. We've got so much fucking Star Trek coming out in the next few weeks with Picard and more Discovery, second half of that, as well as Strange New Worlds. I'm not bothered if this comes out again this year or we have to wait until next year. It's okay. I've enjoyed what I've got so far, and if this was a season finale ending for season 1, and it was the perfect way to end it. I mean, people must have been losing their shits when they saw Janeway again. It was a bit like how people must have lost their shit when they saw Jane Jonah Jameson at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. You know what I mean? It's that sort of vibe. It was really cool. Anyways, let me know what you think about this episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Probably not the best, but it was a decent finale, especially with that Admiral Janeway moment at the end. I fucking lost my fucking shit. Did you guys lose your fucking shit? Let me know. Leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Bye bye.